everyone. Now, first of all, I welcome you all on behalf of DBMCI MDS experts. This is Dr. Pooja, and today we will be discussing PYQs on biochemistry. Right? So, let's start up with the discussion of the questions. Now, see question number 1. What disease causes problem in collagen maturation? Now, let's look at the options first. Rickets, scurvy, night blindness, beriberi. Okay. Right. Let me just open the group so that if you guys have any problem, you can ask me in the group itself. Yes. So let's start up with the discussion of the PYQs. Now, question number 1 says, what disease causes problem in collagen maturation? Now, these are the options. Now, let's discuss what do you understand by the term collagen. Okay. So, if we look at collagen, we all know that it has the most abundant connective tissue. All of us know that. And this is made of 3 amino acids. And what are those amino acids? Glycine, proline, and lysine. Repeats of this are there. Okay. So what happens is ki they always undergo, good evening, macrophage. What is the function of macrophage? Right. So there are the repeats of glycine, proline and lysine, and they undergo post-translational modification. This is a very important question. Post-translational modification which requires vitamin C. This question has been also asked in your exam, that vitamin C is required for the post-translational modification of proline and lysine. So obviously, if vitamin C is involved, it will catalyze hydroxylation, means attachment of hydroxyl group. So proline will be converted into hydroxyl proline, right? And lysine will be converted into hydroxyl lysine. So basically we can say that vitamin C is required for the maturation of collagen, right? And deficiency of vitamin C obviously will lead to defective formation of collagen. So it will lead to scurvy. And now if you look at our question, that is what the question says, that what disease causes problem in collagen maturation? So the answer will be scurvy. B. Yes, it is phagocytosis. Very good. Right? So the answer will be B. Is it clear? Baki rest, rickets is there. Rickets we know it is due to vitamin D deficiency. Night blindness, vitamin A deficiency, and beriberi, it is due to the deficiency of vitamin B1. Okay? So the answer to this question will be scurvy. And the most important thing which you have to remember, because this is a question which has been asked in the exam so many times, that vitamin C along with molecular oxygen is required for this reaction to occur. Clear? Then moving on to question number 2. Deficiency of which vitamin leads to accumulation of methyl tetrahydrofolate and decreases efficiency of functional folic acid? And the options are vitamin B12, folic acid, vitamin C, vitamin B6. Now, if you clearly observe this question is suggesting methyl tetrahydrofolate, and it is saying that deficiency of which vitamin will lead to decreased efficiency of functional folic acid. Now, whenever we talk about folic acid, we all know folic acid, which is vitamin B9, the most important function catalyzed by this is it gives rise to 1-carbon metabolism. Now, what do you mean by 1-carbon metabolism? Wherever 1 carbon is required in the body. Now, whether it is in the form of methyl group, whether it is in the form of methinyl group or formyl group, right? And you know that it is donating this methyl group. And whenever we talk about this methyl tetrahydrofolate, the most important reaction which comes to our mind is that metabolism of methionine. This is a very important question again. Now, we all know that methionine is required for you can say transmethylation. ठीक है, so ये methionine क्या करेगा? Whenever it has to donate a methyl group, it will be activated first of all. Activation के time it will form S-adenosyl methionine. It will give its methyl group to the acceptor, will be converted into S-adenosyl homocysteine, which will be converted into homocysteine. Now, this homocysteine, when it has to be converted into this methionine, always remember it requires methyl group, because the basic difference between methionine and homocysteine is regarding the methyl group. So, methyl group is being donated by B9 and carried by B12. And always remember, this is the only reaction in the body in which B9 and B12 are interdependent on one another. The enzyme here is methionine synthase, and B9 is donating the methyl group and B12 is simply passing the methyl group to homocysteine so that it can be converted into methionine. Right. If we look at the question is saying that deficiency of which vitamin will lead to accumulation of methyl THF and decreases efficiency of folic acid. So here it is clear. If we talk about B12, if we talk about B12 and you see this deficiency of B12 agar ho jayega, so who's going to carry this methyl group? So the methyl group will be trapped, or there will not be any donation of this methyl group, and that is why this term is also known as folate trap. In folate trap, the most important vitamin is B12. Right? Yes, very good, macrophage. So the answer will be B12. And always remember, this is a very, very important reaction in which this shows interdependence of B9 and B12 on one another. Is it clear? So the answer is clear. It will be vitamin B12. Then moving over to question number 3. Thiamine deficiency causes lactic acidosis due to the dysfunction of which enzyme? अब देखो बेटा, ये जो क्वेश्चन है, ये क्वेश्चन बहुत सारी फॉर्म्स में पूछा जाता है. मतलब this is such an important question that this thiamine is a component of so many important enzymes, right? Being a coenzyme. And this question has been asked, I think, once or twice in the exam in 2 ways. The most important thing about this is, chalo, let me see, can you guess the answer? Answer is very simple. Can you tell me what can be the most possible answer to this question? Macrophage? Always remember one thing, I'll just show you. See, thiamine, we all know it is vitamin B1, right? This is a very important coenzyme for, yes, very good, Dr. J, correct. Yes, very good, Asna. The answer is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Yes, very good. Now I'll just show you what all you have to remember in this coenzyme for so many multi-enzyme complexes. अब ये जो PDH है, this is an example of multi-enzyme complex. And always remember, multi mane many. It cannot work alone. So what are the coenzymes? The 5 major coenzymes are vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5 and lipoic acid. Now out of these 5, B1, which is TPP, is the major coenzyme because this is required for oxidative decarboxylation, and that is what is happening in this reaction. Oxidative mane oxygen, decarboxylation mane removal of carbon dioxide, and this reaction is pyruvate, which has 3 carbon atoms, loses 1 molecule of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide and is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. And this reaction is strictly irreversible. This is again very important. So the enzyme is pyruvate dehydrogenase, which is an example of multi-enzyme complex. Ab dekho, pyruvic acid on the other hand, it is being converted into lactate, isn't it? And yahan pe kya, this reaction is reversible. The number of carbon atoms also remains the same. Ab lactic acidosis kyun hoga? Because if I say that this is absent, absence of B1 will lead to accumulation of pyruvate, leading to accumulation of lactate, because the reaction will be diverted to form lactic acid. And this is a very well-known fact in a patient, in a subject who is deficient of B1, he is more prone to lactic acidosis. Clear? So the answer here is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Now, since the answer is B, let me just tell you about other enzymes also, because all are important. PEP carboxykinase is an enzyme of gluconeogenesis. Right? If we talk about pyruvate decarboxylase as such कोई enzyme ही नहीं है. लिखा है इसमें decarboxylation करेगा, but that enzyme is pyruvate dehydrogenase. And transketolase is also a very important enzyme which requires TPP for its function. And always remember again, this is very important, if B1 is absent, transketolase activity in RBCs will decrease. Very important. Okay? This is asked as one of the question also, कि if there is decreased activity of transketolase in enzymes, which particular vitamin is deficient. So always remember that deficient vitamin will be TPP. Right? Clear ho gaya? Then moving on to question number 4. Which of the following is not a glucogenic substrate? This is again a very important and a very interesting question. Some 3-4 years back, there were 2 questions. You will be surprised to know that there were 2 questions which were asked on gluconeogenesis. Ab now see, if we have to, can anybody tell me the answer to this question? This is a very simple again. Asna is typing something, yes? Which of the following is not a glucogenic substrate? Okay, I'll just tell you here. Let's see. What all points? Yes. Yes, answer is A, but I just want to give you, yes, very good, very good. I just want to tell you, beta, what all you have to remember in gluconeogenesis. देखो सबसे पहले gluconeogenesis, all of you know about the definition of this: synthesis of glucose कहाँ से? From non-carbohydrate precursors. Non-carbohydrate precursors, right? Up now see, what are those non-carbohydrate precursors? The most important one is alanine. This is again a very important question. Alanine is considered to be a very important glucogenic amino acid. Alanine के बाद lactate is there. Then you can say propenyl coenzyme A is there and glycerol is there. So these are the 4 very important non-carbohydrate precursors. Up after this, gluconeogenesis occurs in 2 compartments. And what are those compartments? Mitochondria. Mitochondria mein there is only one enzyme which is present, which is pyruvate carboxylase. This is also very important. Again, important question from examination point of view. And cytoplasm. Rest of the enzymes are cytosolic, and the last reaction, एक और reaction होता है, the last reaction occurs in the endoplasmic reticulum, जहाँ पे glucose 6 phosphate is converted into glucose. Right? So these are the important points about gluconeogenesis. अब ये हो गए सारे glucogenic substrates. अब if we come to this, lactate is the one by Cori's cycle. Pyruvate is the one, reversal of glycolysis. Oxaloacetic acid, again, it is one of the very, very important intermediates of gluconeogenesis, in which pyruvic acid is converted to oxaloacetic acid. ठीक है? अब why acetyl coenzyme A is not? Because of this. Pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme A by a strictly irreversible reaction. And this is, just now I told you, oxidative decarboxylation in the presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase. And since this reaction is irreversible, we always say that carbohydrates can be converted to fats, but fats cannot be converted to carbohydrates just because of this reason. And that is what the question says, that which of the following is not glucogenic? It has to be acetyl coenzyme A, which is a precursor of the fats, right? So this is question number 4. Then moving on to question number 5, vitamin A toxicity will cause damage to which of these? अब देखो, this is again a very important question. If we talk about vitamin A, we all know that vitamin A has 3 forms: retinol, retinal, and retinoic acid. Retinoic acid. These are the 3 main forms of vitamin A. And vitamin A is required for growth and reproduction. Vitamin A is required for the vision, right? 5A. Yes, very good. And always remember one thing, vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin, and if we increase the RDA of vitamin A, it leads to hypervitaminosis. And always remember, when hypervitaminosis of vitamin A is there, lysosomes are the ones which are affected. So the affected organelle are the lysosomes. And what are the other clinical features during hypervitaminosis of A? Hepatomegaly is there. Megaly will be there. Then there will be increased concentration of TGs, hypertriglyceridemia will be there. Then there will be pruritic skin. pruritic skin will be there. It can lead to alopecia, right? And it can lead to pseudotumor cerebri, right? So these are some of the very important clinical features of hypervitaminosis of vitamin A, in which the worst, you can say the damaged organelle are the lysosomes, right? The answer will be lysosomes, right? Then moving over to question number 6. Magenta tongue is seen with the deficiency of. This is also a very simple and a very frequently asked question. Can you tell me the answer to this question? Magenta tongue is seen with the deficiency of. The color of the tongue changes due to the deficiency of riboflavin. Very, very important. Pyridoxine is B6. Some are saying C. No, Gauri, the answer will be B. I'll tell you, pyridoxine is B6, pantothenic acid is B5 and niacin is B3. Okay. First of all, if we talk about riboflavin, which is B2, always remember the most important deficiency manifestations of B2 are cheilosis, right? Corneal vascularization is there, glossitis is there, right? Angular stomatitis is there, and seborrheic dermatitis is there. These are the 5 important deficiency manifestations of B2. So magenta color is here. The tongue of the color of the tongue changes. And if we talk about the other ones, if we talk about pyridoxine has so many, because B6 is required as a very, very important coenzyme for, you can say, protein metabolism. So B6 ki deficiency mein there is, xanthuranic acid is excreted in the urine. Then if you talk about again B6 deficiency, there is tingling in the, sensation, numbness is there in the toes and fingers. So many symptoms are there. But magenta tongue is a characteristic feature of riboflavin. If we talk about pantothenic acid is the derivative of all the, you can say, acetyl coenzyme A, propanol coenzyme A and all. Then niacin se to it leads to pellagra. Okay, so here the answer will be riboflavin, right? Then a 54-year patient reports with diabetic ketoacidosis and fruity flavor in breath. What is the cause of this fruity odor in breath? Again, this is a very important question. What can be the answer? Ashna knows all the answers, yes? Okay, Dr. Jyoti is also typing. Yes, very good. The answer will be acetone. Again, these ketone bodies are very, very important, yes, from examination point of view. I'll just brief you what all you have to remember about ketone bodies. देखो, सबसे पहले तो you should know there are 3 ketone bodies: acetone, acetoacetate, and beta hydroxybutyrate, right? Hydroxybutyrate. The normal concentration of ketone bodies in the body is 1 milligram per dl. The ketone bodies increases during starvation and increases during diabetes mellitus. ठीक है. And always remember the primary ketone body is acetoacetate and secondary ketone bodies are beta hydroxybutyrate and acetone. And the most important question which is asked in the exam is the test, Rothra's test. Rothra's test is given by only acetoacetate and not by beta hydroxybutyrate. And the most predominant ketone body in a diabetic patient is beta hydroxybutyrate. Right? And when the concentration of ketone bodies increases in a diabetic patient, it is known as diabetic ketoacidosis. And diabetic ketoacidosis mein the most important diagnostic feature is that fruity flavor in breath which is coming from acetone, because acetone is highly volatile. Clear? And acetoacetate is the primary one, beta hydroxybutyrate is the secondary one, this is the secondary one, acetoacetyl coenzyme is the precursor. क्योंकि acetyl coenzyme is the main precursor which will form acetoacetyl CoA. So answer here will be C. Right? Then moving on to question number 8. Again a very important question. A child presents with pain and asymmetry of the jaw. He has been diagnosed with Hurler's syndrome. Now which of the following is the characteristic feature? Now this has been taken from mucopolysaccharidosis. Mucopolysaccharidosis. Pehले you tell me what will be the answer, then I'll give you a brief description of this. Eighth ka. Okay, very good. The answer will be yes. The answer will be A. Ab again, yes, answer will be A. Ab beta, what you have to remember in this, I'll just give you again the brief points. Always remember, all mucopolysaccharidosis are autosomal recessive except Hunter's. Right? If we talk about mucopolysaccharidosis, the clinical features are same in all except this corneal crowding. Basically, if we talk about the clinical features, what are the clinical features? Frontal bossing is there. Skeletal deformities are there. Skeletal deformities are there. Then the patient will always be giving a discharge from the nose. तो उसको हम बोलते हैं copious nasal discharge will be there. And abdomen will be protuberant, leading to umbilical hernia. Umbilical hernia is also one of the distinguishing feature of this. But the most important one is this corneal clouding. And corneal clouding mane the vision is not clear, defective vision. अब इसके लिए you have to remember this mnemonic, Sam goes for hunting. So always remember, in Hunter syndrome and Sam means Sanfilippo syndrome, the vision is clear. Sanfilippo's and Hunter's में vision जो होगी that will be clear. And this is the most important distinguishing feature between the different type of mucopolysaccharidosis. This is very important. और इस mnemonic को you have to remember this, क्योंकि ये question आता है exam में. एक तो Hunter's क्या है? Hunter's is a X-linked disorder. बाकी rest of them are autosomal recessive. And in Hunter's and Sanfilippo's the vision is clear. बाकी सब में the vision is defective. So here It is clear, the corneal clouding, right? Then moving on to question number 9. A patient reported in emergency with ataxia, confusion, edema, amnesia, psychosis and altered consciousness. The family also gave history of alcohol use since the past 20 years. What would you inject in this patient? This is also a very simple question, मतलब simplest question I should say. Yes, always remember बेटा, देखो ये जो थाइमीन है ना, I told you thiamine plays a very very important role in our body. Why? Because thiamine is the major coenzyme for 4 reactions. Okay? Yes, D will be the answer. And what are those? First is it is a component of PDH. It is a component of alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. It is a component of transketolase, and it is a component of branched chain अमाइनो एसिड्स में डीकार्बोक्सिलेस में ऑक्सीडेटिव डीकार्बोक्सिलेशन करता है. अब क्या है कि दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड, पीडीएच का केस है, सिंपल कि पायरुविक एसिड हैज टू बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू एसिटाइल कोएंजाइम ए. So if this B1 is deficient, this pyruvic acid will enter into lactic acid and lactic acidosis will be there. And second important thing is कि alcoholism always interferes with the metabolism of alcohol, interferes with this NAD/NADH metabolism. And always remember कि B1 deficiency leads to beriberi, right? But B1 deficiency associated with alcoholism, it leads to Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Korsakoff or Wernicke's encephalopathy. So alcoholism always interferes with pyruvic acid to lactic acid metabolism. So the answer here will be simply thiamine. Right? Then question number 10th. Propanol coenzyme A is produced by the metabolism of. This is also one of the very very important questions. Propanol coenzyme A is produced by the metabolism of. Options are odd chain, long chain, unsaturated or saturated fatty acids. What will be the answer? Yes, very good. And you know what is the metabolism of propanol coenzyme A? No doubt it is produced. Answer will be A. Yes, answer will be A. What is the main use of this propanol coenzyme A? Because always remember odd chain fatty acids will give this, and you know what is the metabolism? This propanol coenzyme A undergoes carboxylation. Carboxylation देखो कितने सारे, I'll just give you one carboxylation. Always remember whenever we talk about carboxylation, the first question which comes to our mind is the coenzyme required for carboxylation. आंखें बंद करके answer is B7 which is biotin. ठीक है? प्रोपेनल कोएंजाइम में क्या करेगा? ये बनाता है डिमिथाइल मेलोनाइल कोए. This dimethyl malonyl CoA forms L-methyl malonyl CoA, and this L-methyl malonyl CoA in the presence of B12 and mutase forms succinyl coenzyme A, जो किसका intermediate है? Succinyl coenzyme A is an intermediate of TCA1 thing and it is required for the synthesis of heme. Or this is the one reaction which differentiates between the metabolism of folic acid and B12. ठीक है? And we say that, yes, we say that absence of B12 will always lead to excretion of methyl malonic acid in urine. Whenever there is absence of B12, there will be accumulation and excretion of methyl malonic acid in urine. This is a very important question, right? So the answer will be clearly A. Then moving on to question number 11. A patient with symptoms of inflamed tongue, photosensitivity, anxiety, diarrhea, and headache presented to the clinic for treatment. A characteristic feature seen in this condition is attached for your reference. Diagnosis is. Now see, if you see this picture only, this picture is continuously being repeated in so many years, for the past so many years, and just by looking at the picture also one can simply give the diagnosis, isn't it? Yes. So the by default this picture has actually become a kind of signature for niacin deficiency, and basically इसको कहते क्या है? We call this term as Kessel necklace. Yes, Kessel necklace. Yes, answer is B. But yes, Kessel necklace is there, but I just want to tell you some important points about, because this is a very simple question. But tryptophan pe what are the other questions which can be asked? One is, you should always remember that 60 milligram of tryptophan is required to generate 1 milligram of niacin. Right? Sometimes we say that people whose staple diet is maize, they are more prone to deficiency of niacin. Why? Because ये जो maize है हमारे पास, maize has a protein which is zein. This zein protein lacks tryptophan. So obviously if tryptophan is not present, so the niacin synthesis will be defective, and deficiency of niacin leads to pellagra, and this pellagra is characterized by 3 Ds. And what are those 3 Ds? 1 D stands for diarrhea, second D stands for dementia, and third D stands for dermatitis. And if left untreated, it will lead to the fourth D, which is death. It can lead to death also. So you can say that pellagra and dermatitis, photosensitivity, and whichever area is exposed, it will lead to that pigmentation will be there, hyperpigmentation will be there. And since it resembles a necklace, so we call it as Kessel necklace. ठीक है? So अगर क्वेश्चन केसल नेकलेस का आता है तो also you can say कि deficiency of niacin is there, and if a question is asked like this pellagra, or if a question is asked on tryptophan, the answer has to be niacin. Very simple question. Okay. Then moving on to question number 12. DNA helix uncoils and unwinds with the help of which of the following enzyme? This is also one of a very simple questions. DNA helix uncoils and unwinds with the help of which of the following enzyme? क्या हो जाएगा इसका आंसर? Yes, correct, helicases. Most of the students, yes, I have seen that they get confused between helicases and gyrases. Okay, so basically beta what happens is, always remember, if we talk about the functions of the enzymes, Helicases is what? It helps in unwinding of helix. The function of helicases is unwinding of helix, right? If we talk about topoisomerases, topoisomerases is a stress relieving enzyme. So it relieves the stress relieving enzyme. If we talk about gyrases, gyrases is present in prokaryotes, which is catalyzing both the functions of unwinding and releasing the stress both. Okay? And then fourth enzyme is ligase. DNA ligase seals the nick of DNA or gap filling. That is why ligase को क्या बोलते हैं? Glue of DNA. And then DNA polymerase, all of us know DNA polymerase is the main fidelity enzyme. And एक और होता है इसमें SSB. SSB stabilizes the helix. Which stands for single strand binding proteins, right? So here the answer will be simply A. Baki rest of the enzymes ka function I have already mentioned there. Then moving on to the 13th question, again a very simple question. Which of these is an antioxidant? This is again a very simple question. देखो हमेशा याद रखो antioxidants क्या होते हैं which are preventing oxidation. There are 3 vitamins which function as the major antioxidants. Vitamin A, मतलब ऐसे याद रखो एस वी ऑल नो, जैसे हम प्लेइंग कार्ड्स खेलते हैं ना, एस इक्का. सो विटामिन ए, विटामिन सी, विटामिन ई, दीज आर द 3 वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स. यस, ठीक है. विटामिन ए, सी एंड ई, इन सब में से द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंटीऑक्सीडेंट इज विटामिन ई, जिसको हम बोलते हैं चेन ब्रेकिंग एंटीऑक्सीडेंट. यस, चेन ब्रेकिंग एंटीऑक्सीडेंट. And the active form of vitamin E is alpha tocopherol. So the answer is D. बाकी कोई भी जितने भी हैं, they are not functioning as antioxidant. These are the only 3 which function as antioxidants. Right? Then fourth, which method is most widely used to calculate HbA1c? HbA1c is actually glycosylated Hb, glycosylated hemoglobin. बेटा देखो होता क्या है. Yes, answer is ion exchange chromatography. Basically what happens is, you know that if a person is suffering from diabetes mellitus, the worst effect is on the RBCs, isn't it? Because if the concentration hyperglycemia is there, so it might infect the RBCs, or exactly that is what happens. Glycosylated, yes, glycosylated का मतलब ही क्या हुआ कि हीम में carbohydrate will enter. Right? And this also gives us an average blood sugar of roughly 2 to 3 months. And this is the only method by which we can separate the, मतलब this is a kind of chromatography, मतलब एक इसमें stationary phase होता है, एक mobile phase होता है. And with the help of the patient's serum, it runs. So it is ion exchange chromatography. Then question number 15th, answer will be B. Then question number 15th, true about mitochondrial DNA. What is true about mitochondrial DNA? अब now see, देखो होता क्या है, ये जो mitochondrial DNA है ना, it is similar to prokaryotes, similar to prokaryotic DNA. Right? That means it is a nucleoid. Then important feature about this is that mitochondrial DNA, it lack introns. जैसे इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द यूकैरियोटिक वन, उसमें इंट्रॉन्स भी होते हैं, एक्सॉन्स भी होते हैं. इंट्रॉन्स आर द इंटरवीनिंग सीक्वेंसेस. तो what happens is, you all know that it undergoes post-transcriptional modification. Here no chances of post-transcriptional modification is there, and since if they lack introns, they are more prone to mutations. More prone to mutations. And if we talk about how many nucleotides, it has 16, 5, 39 nucleotides. And with 37 genes. और 37 में इसमें सेग्रीगेशन होता है 13 and 24 का. 13 will code for your electron transport chain and 24 will code for transfer RNA and other RNA. Right. Now, if we look at the options, single-stranded circular DNA with 16,695 nucleotides, no. Okay. Higher mutation than nuclear DNA, yes. Always remember. And the reason I have told you why it is so, because it lack introns. So there are more chances of mitochondria to get mutated. Mitochondrial DNA genome is slightly different from slightly, it is very different. It resembles to that of prokaryotes, and that is why हम ये भी कहते हैं कि mitochondrial DNA, mitochondria is a semi-autonomous organelle. Why it is a semi-autonomous organelle? Because it has its own set of instructions. अपना DNA होता है इसके पास, ठीक है? It codes for all proteins of no. Only 13 out of them code for electron transport chain. Rest code for RNA. ठीक है? So the answer will be B and C. So B and C both can be the answers. Right? Is it clear? Then comes wobble hypothesis proves which nature of the codon. ये तो बहुत ही simple है. Wobble hypothesis, wobbling, which means what will be the answer? Wobble hypothesis proves which nature of the codon. Always remember इसका आंसर होगा degeneracy. Yes. Why degeneracy? Because देखो, all of you knows all the properties of genetic code. This is the most important one. Yes, degeneracy का मतलब ही क्या हुआ कि see, we have 20 standard amino acids and genetic code is triplet in nature. So many can code for one amino acid, isn't it? So what happens is, just suppose if I take the example UUU, it is coding for say phenylalanine. Wobble hypothesis means degeneracy of the third base pair. Degeneracy of the third base pair, which will not alter anything. So if UUU is coding for phenylalanine, UUC will also code for phenylalanine. So there is no difference. This is degeneracy. ठीक है? Means degeneracy of the third pair means there is wobbling of the third base pair. Not first, not second. ठीक है? So this predicts about this. This is again a very simple question. Then next, which of the following are true regarding suicide inhibition of enzymes? अब देखो, suicide inhibition में बेटा, the most important thing which you have to remember is there are two examples of suicide inhibition. Examples of suicide inhibition. ठीक है? One is allopurinol, right? And second is COX, cyclooxygenase. अब ये जो allopurinol है, this is an example of competitive inhibition also. अब अगेन मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स गेट कंफ्यूज बिटवीन कॉम्पिटिटिव इनहिबिशन एंड सुसाइड. कॉम्पिटिटिव का मतलब क्या हुआ कि ये जो एलोप्यूरिनॉल है इट इज अ कॉम्पिटिटिव इनहिबिटर ऑफ xanthine oxidase. Inhibitor of xanthine oxidase. ठीक है, बट most appropriate it is an example of suicide inhibition. Why it is an example of suicide? Because just recall the reaction, recall करो reaction तो उसमें क्या होता है, ये जो hypoxanthine है, ठीक है ना, hypoxanthine is converted into xanthine and xanthine is converted into uric acid. ठीक है, अब ये जो एलोप्यूरिनॉल है व्हेन इट इज गिवन, एलोप्यूरिनॉल बाइंड्स विथ हाइपोxanthine फॉर्मिंग एलोप्यूरिनॉल हाइपोxanthine and एलोप्यूरिनॉल xanthine. So these products are highly potent than the original one and they are excreted in urine. That is what is suicide inhibition all about. मतलब क्या है, what is the definition of suicide inhibition? That whenever a person takes it, it is said that the body is committing a suicide. Why? Because the inhibitor is combining with the enzyme and it is forming those forms which are more potent than the original one. मतलब allopurinol hypoxanthine and allopurinol xanthine are much more stronger than hypoxanthine and xanthine. This is the characteristic of suicide inhibition. Now, if we look at the options, the inhibitor is site specific and cannot work outside the active site. Yes, it has to be site specific. Substrate analog of enzyme can be changed or can bind to enzymatic reaction. Yes, that is what I told you. Different जगह bind कर जाएगा वो. It is a relatively inert molecule that can be transformed by an enzyme at its active site into a reactive compound. This is very important. This is what is suicide inhibition all about. That into a reactive compound that irreversibly inactivates the enzyme. Very important. ठीक है, and it is an active molecule which binds to the active site of the enzyme, leads to hydrolysis. This cannot be the option. Right? So these three are true and this is not true. So the answer will be, actually here the option should be given like this. Not given the options. Options ऐसे होनी चाहिए जैसे A, B and C, B, C and D, या you can say A, C and D or all of the above. Options should be like this, isn't it? A, B, C, D. So the answer will be A, B and C. Got my point? Right? Then moving on, to answer will be simply A. Then moving on to the next question, which one of the following is not a basic amino acid? This is a very simple question. All of you can answer it. है ना? कौन सा basic नहीं है इसमें से? Lysine, arginine, valine and histidine? Simple. Valine. Valine is not a basic amino acid, isn't it? Valine is what? It is a aliphatic amino acid. Lysine, yes, valine, which is a aliphatic amino acid. Along with glycine. And this is also branch chain amino acid. Chalo, let's put it that way also. Branch chain amino acid, live. Okay. So answer is C. Yes. Then the last question. Functions of different compounds of vitamin A match the following type of questions. Yes, इसमें the options are given. अब देखो इसके लिए always remember we know vitamin A has three forms: retinol, retinal, retinoic acid. Retinol always helps in vision. Just keep this thing in mind. अब देखो, if you know one thing, retinol, I told you retinol helps in vision. ठीक है, Beta carotene, we all know it is an antioxidant. So two things you know. Now you have to look for the options, because most of the students again get confused between retinol and retinoic acid. Now look for the option जिसमें retinol is for vision. अब देखो तीन options are there. Then I told you beta carotene is for an antioxidant. So if you see retinol is for reproduction and retinoic acid is for cell growth and development. वैसे भी if you can remember, just remember this thing that retinol for reproduction, retinol for vision, and retinoic acid is for cell growth. So the options which suits this will be A. So the answer will be A. Right? So here we finish up with the discussion of the PYQs. I hope this is clear to all of you. Acha, one more is there. Yes. Dried blood spot analysis is done in infants for DBS. This is also commonly known as DBS. And always remember, whenever we carry out this dried blood spot, it is to check the inborn error of metabolism. Always. This is a very important test which is carried nowadays, which is done to check the inborn error of metabolism, जैसे phenylketonuria and all. For this is done. Clear? Baki creatinine and bilirubin estimation, again serum is there. This is CBC, this is again a hematological practical blood group analysis. This is again different. DBS is always done to check the inborn error of metabolism. Example you can quote. This is one example I am quoting, phenylketonuria. Right? So here we finish up with the discussion of the PYQs. Right? And if you can, if you have got any doubts, we all are connected to this Telegram group. So you can put your queries in the group and I will be answering to the questions. And if you have any problem regarding the subject also, how you have to prepare, what all topics you have to prepare, you can just drop a message, drop a text in the group, then I'll answer. Right? Yeah. Is there any confusion regarding these questions, or is there any confusion? Is there any query in your mind? So you can ask me. Or if everything is clear, crystal clear, we can wind up the session also. It's clear to all of you? So shall we wind up the session for today? Asna, macrophage, who all are there in the class? Yeah. Dr. J, is it clear to all of you? Yes. Okay, my pleasure. So here we wind up the session, today's session. So wish you guys all the best. Take care. Yeah, all clear. Otherwise, even if you have any problem, try to solve maximum number of questions and you can ask me in the group, because we are connected 24/7 in this group. Right?